Love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that thanks button down below. Super chats as well. There is a bit to go over today. I did make a video before, but just to go and reiterate some of what was in that video, just a little bit of how OMI is doing today, how we compare it against the markets, how we can compare it against Bitcoin and Ethereum, what's going on with Binance and FTX, and then we'll go from there. So we are up about 1.92% today on the day. Pretty good. So I haven't really checked any of this out since before the markets closed. We did outperform everything. S&P was up 0.18%, Dow was up 0.22%, and Nasdaq was up 0.28%. So outperformed them quite beautifully. So if we take a look at the price of Bitcoin, we are up 0.1%. We outperformed that. And then let's do the price of Ethereum today, and that is up 0.23%. So we did outperform everything. Huzzah to that. Looking pretty good. Like I said, we haven't really gone. Have we gone down below 0.0016 in this new? Not in the last couple days. No, on November 6th, they're at 0.00161. Yeah, it's been a good minute since we've been before that. The last time was at 0.00158 over on the 4th. So we've come back down, had a nice, look at that right there. Look at that nice little accumulation that we have. It's a nice little base. This is our trading zone. I'm going to totally, can't wait to buy more. Can't wait to buy more. You have seen him before. Justin Pierce has been on the podcast before. Usually him and Steph Salentano would go on and talk about Disney stuff. He just started a fairly lucrative business. He'll be buying more OMI. He's got about $1 million. He'll get more. Very, very excited about this. We have a great ride. So moving on outside of that, let's see how much the volume was today, and then we'll get to the burns that's been going on. 1.2 million in volume. Not as good as we were last week, about $1 million less, but about 800,000 more than what we were doing the week before that. We were getting like 400,000 each day. It's pitiful. But now hopefully we're able to go and continue this for a while. I think we will. Even if we don't, even if the volume stays the same, the burn is going to be ridiculous. We just got a tweet. Ooh, Netflix forthcoming Stranger Things VR game will let players become the villainous Vecna. Oh, that'll be great. Pumped for that. Can't wait for that. All right, so there's the other thing. We do have a $1.9 billion Powerball tomorrow. If you haven't seen my Twitter, I told people that I would take $1 million, buy a bunch of OMI, and just burn it. I would take another $2 million, buy it, lock it up for 3 years, and then I'd take another $2 million and buy that, and then trade with it. And then I would buy a bunch more as well, just to hodl with my additional 145 million. But that 2 million, that'd be to trade it. I don't know if I would sweep the floor on Alligator Lokis, sweep the floor on logos. I would sweep the floor on probably a bunch of. I'd get all the sets. If I, again, be advised, if I do win that, if I'm the only person that win that, the odds are like 0.00002%. But if I do win that and I'm the sole winner, I'll get every single set. The only things I wouldn't be able to get are the one-of-ones that Dr. Profit has. He's got like 4 or 5 of those. That's, a lot of those one-of-ones I don't think I'd be able to get, which is fine. But that would only come out to, I think, like $900 million, give or take. So it's, after a couple billion OMI, I don't really think I need more than that. But I also can't do that. A lot of people are saying, well, Chavez, why not just buy up all the OMI? Okay, well, if I buy up all the OMI, then I become the store, then I become the exchange. And, even if putting in like $1 million, you'd have to do that over a couple of days. And if you do that over a couple of days, we'll hit 0.002, 0.0025, probably like it's nothing. So, buying $10 million worth of OMI, I would have to go and ask David and Dan, be like, hey guys, let me buy from your business development fund. And speaking of business development fund, my God. Okay, so we got some stuff to go over here. We had somebody ask about the business development fund and all that, and Reese says, great question. Technically now, all the unlocks and the vesting is done. So the 310, he said 311, but I think it's 310. The 310 billion is the circulating supply. It will be closer to 305 once the business development burn is done. They are going to do that, I think, when when crypto to gem or crypto pay-in is available. Once that's available, then I think they'll burn that. But someone correct me on that if I'm wrong. And then it was on saying, however, comma, the way we tend to split them is the active circulating supply and the max circulating supply. The active circulating supply is all the tokens, but they are not including the business development fund, which is going to be like, I don't know, like 30 billion, whatever. And the max circulating supply is all the tokens, including the business development fund. But be advised, like David and Dan have tens of billions each. So I would not count those. I mean, they're making enough on Veve in general that they don't really need to liquidate any of that. If they did need money for whatever reason, they could just raise it if they wanted to. Like, I mean, they could just do a cap raise and it would be so simple. Everyone would be lining up to, oh God, that'd be insane. Like everyone. And then he says, a lot of that business development fund probably won't see the light of day, which is why we count it out when we do the numbers. What does that mean? Does that mean that the 5.5 billion OMI burn is a repeatable play? Yes, it can mean that. It can mean that it's repeatable. Does it mean that they're just going to sit on it and say, hey, we're just consider it burn? I don't know, but let's say 20% is used. That means 80% is not going to be used. I don't, there's so many different things that you could say with this, but let's say half. So take out 15 billion, you know, take out another 15 billion. So let's say you take out 20 billion total. So only go from 310 to 290. And nobody realizes that yet. I know Foster just did a video. I don't know if he included that because he made his video, I think, before Reese did his thing, before he did the AMA today. So that was absolutely insane that he said that. I'll get more clarification next week when me and Eva from University interview him, and then at DesignerCon as well. I'll see. We'll do the interview like 2 days before DesignerCon, so it's going to be intense. Moving on. He says the starting tier for staking is 2,500, so it depends on what the OMI token amount is worth whenever the staking kicks off. But everyone can use the OMI token inside the app for transacting and other activities. So you don't need to be staking a large amount of OMI in order to go and use OMI in the app. He said everyone can do that. So I'm pretty pumped. We've got Reese saying the first features are almost done, because somebody's asking what's the ETA on OUP. So Reese saying that the first features are almost done, crypto to gem and the Veve waitlist. And once they're out of the way and the first phase of MCP, the infrastructure work will begin. I don't expect that it'll take too long. There's a lot of examples out there we can take from in for that sort of system. And then somebody asks, is there a time frame on the red circles on the OUP website, or is it just percentage progress? Also, Dan mentioned in the last community update, OMI to gem to the masses by the end of November. Is that still correct? And then Reese says, there is no time frame yet, just the progress of each one. But now that we have Mitch, which is the new product manager, on board, the intention is absolutely to tell you which one is next and how long we expect it to take. I just need him to figure out that part out. I just need to figure out that part first. So they will let us know on that. No worries, such a pleasure talking. Oh, I don't know if this is, I don't know why I took a picture of this one. Oh yeah, you can use people are thinking about using the fast track for tier 5, saying if I convert $7,500 worth of OMI to gem, could I then use the burn reward points to fast track and have 7,500 gems for NFT purchases? And then Reese says, I believe so. The idea is that anytime you're burning OMI, as you would get burn reward points, as you've technically already spent it, except for when you fast track directly, this is also designed as there will be features that allow you to burn before staking and fast tracking is live. So it will let you build up those points between now and then instead of having to spend twice as much OMI. So pretty much what he's saying that if you want to, let's say you have $40,000 worth of OMI, let's say you have whatever staking tier that you want. If you have more than enough OMI for staking tier 1, you don't have to just light up the OMI on fire and get nothing for it. You can go and you could buy tickets. You can go and do anything that burns OMI so you can get those reward points, and then you could use those reward points to go and pay for that fee. So if the fee is $7,500 and $1 is equal to one ticket, you know, in OMI, you can go and buy 7,500 bronze tickets, and then you could go and say, okay, I'm going to take those 7,500 points that I just got, the burn rewards, and I'm going to go and use that for fast tracking. And then you have a free 7,500 tickets. So yeah, that I think is brilliant, because people will look at it as if they're double dipping. People go and say, "Oh, okay, I can go and buy these tickets, get these reward points, and I can go and fast track for free pretty much." It does feel like you're double dipping. And dude, thank God, hang on. Thank God we are going to be able to get OMI over on the web app, because people are gonna burn their OMI like no tomorrow. They're gonna burn their OMI like nobody's business, and I'm here for it. So that's really really exciting. Is anticipate? Yeah. When do you anticipate OMI on some big exchanges? I know timing is important. And Reese said, I can't put an exact date or expectation to what to it, or I'll see over Twitter, Reese confirmed big exchange by dot dot dot. Haha. So for now, I'll just say that we are very aware that access to the token is a big issue, and we'll work to resolve it as quickly as possible. I'm really hoping that, again, let's say if Adam Awesomeface says, have you thanked Puddin' Cheeks today? Yes, I have. Thank you, Adam Awesomeface, for the $10 super chat. That means the world. What I need to do is, I'll just tell you guys what it is. I won't tell him, though, although he might be here at some point. I might go and just get a big printout of his face. And I might just, I mean, he did confirm that he will be going to decon, so I can just give him a big hug and just nuzzle against. Anyway, I could just get a big picture of his face and just bow and pray to it every morning. In Puddin, we trust. If that doesn't freak him out too much, but yes, God, I love that man. I love him so much. So yeah, here's the thing. Let's say, and this is a little bit of a bearish sentiment, so take this with a grain of salt, but I'm not really bearish too much. When you have the giant titans like Binance and FTX warring it out with each other, that's not good. Will FTX survive? Most likely. Does this hurt them? Yes. David had mentioned in a community update like last year, maybe it was earlier this year, that's like, hey, we hear you. We hear you that you want the big exchanges, and we will give you the big exchanges, but we just cannot do that in the bear market. It was this year that they said that. They can't do that in the bear market, because that would have the opposite effect of what you want. One of those might be FTX. And because the top three, if you're a coin, where do you want to get listed on? You want to get listed on Binance is number one, FTX is number two, Coinbase is number three. And then there are other ones. There are Gemini, there are KuCoin, there are Kraken, Crypto.com. But after you get those big three, it doesn't really matter about anywhere else. This does kind of put a damper on, I think, at least potentially, because there's $2 billion a day that go through FTX. I mean, maybe not now, because Binance just declared war with them. That let's just say that I would not expect FTX right away, even though Reese had said, we're working on that as quickly as possible. Why would you want to try to go and pay a listing fee and go be listed somewhere that maybe potentially has a solvency issue that CZ Binance is going to go and try to exploit and try to take down? Because obviously, once if that were to crumble, where does that $2 billion worth of volume go? Well, let's say a quarter of it goes to Binance. That's an extra $500 million each day that's going there. So he has very much reason to try to do that. That being said, the fact that we're able to pretty much become an exchange and buy OMI on the web app, I mean, we don't really need it anywhere else. We don't need to go and So Adam Wassleface just said, I'd rather buy it from Veve. Thank you for the super chat again. You don't need it anywhere else. Now, obviously, you want to get, if you want the token price to go up, you want it exposed to as many other places as possible. Am I going to go and get a Binance account once it's on Binance? No. Like I already have. I don't want to say enough. It's never enough. It's never ogre. But I have a way to get it. I'll wait for it to go on Coinbase. I'm not going to go and make a new exchange, go get a new exchange. And many people won't either. But what I would rather do, like, where do you rather buy gems? You rather buy gems for the web app or the Veve app? Like the web app, because that Vive's getting all of those funds instead of Apple and Google taking that 30%. I don't know how any other company's going to survive with that. But oh yeah, Omi Panda and his friends need those big exchanges, for that volume. Because again, if let's say the Veve app, and let's just say that the Veve app only does, I don't know, $1 million in volume a day. If you have $5 million or $8 million, you can't do that. You need to you're going to move the price in such a warped way. You need those big exchanges. So I'm not saying that we won't get other big exchanges, Omi Panda. It's just that I would not expect FTX right away. I don't know if I would expect any of the big ones right away. I'd probably do the smaller ones first to get a little bump from each of them. Adam Awesome Face says Omi could be seen as just another app currency and be bought to use on accessories, tickets, and more non-coiners. Yeah, that's another good point. You have people that are not going to see Omi as money. They're not going to see it as a crypto. They're just going to see it as, oh, here's an in-game currency. Here's an in-app, like, and the beauty of this is like accessories. Oh my God, the accessories. Let's just go and say let's say how many people downloaded or played Among Us, because this is a good example. Among Us was one of the most popular games of the last few years. How many people play Among Us? So the last 30 days, not too many, only 5,000 people. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's 5 million people. In 2022, well, there are 150 million registered users, but that's how many registered. Let's say we have about, at its height, let's say 30 million people. And let's say out of those 30 million people, 10 million were doing in-app purchases. Let's say a third of them. So and the in-app purchases were never, $100, $200, $500. They were all just people just paying like a couple of dollars just to get a toilet paper roll on top of your head because it's cute, or have a spacecraft. I paid $2 to have a spacecraft follow me. Yes, I'm super excited for people to spend thousands on tickets. I'm super excited for a lot, but what I'm really excited for is the accessories. Why not be able to give your Todd Batman a cool accessory, a cool Veve cape, a cool Veve logo sticker that you could stick on them? What do kids do? My friend Meg will be able to tell you. What do kids do when you give them a sticker? Put it right on their forehead. That's what, like, kids are crazy and they'll bug their parents. Will parents, automatically give oh yeah, I want this Labbit that's like $500? Probably not. Will parents go and say, like, we'll give them $20 because they want V-Bucks? Yes, 100%. People do that all the time. My friend Wayne, God bless his soul, would always say, like, oh yeah, my kid, I feel like an ATM. Kid asked for $80. Like, for what? For what? He's like, I need more V-Bucks. Like, just give you $80 last week. Give your brother $80 last week. Where does all this money go? And people will do that so that their kids can just heck off for a little while, and they can be like, okay, this makes them happy. I don't have to, one less I got to get them at Christmas. And then what happens? They go and they spend that to give their NFTs accessories. That's what I'm excited for as well, because you're going to have so many millions of kids be like, hey, can I get a couple of V-Bucks? I keep saying V-Bucks for Fortnite, but can I get a couple of Omi? Can I get it? Because that's what's going to give them that. And you have, let's do the math real quick from Among Us. Let's say 5 million people spending $2 each, $10 million. Oh my God, every day. Oh my God. And remember ringtones in like the mid to late 2000s? You could put them on your phone. They were not free. They were multiple dollars per ringtone. Moving on here. Another super chat from Adam Awesome Face saying, Among Us made 86 million off hats, etc., and you can't resell them. Oh my good golly goodness. Yeah, what does Fortnite make Jesus. People are paying so much for skins, hats, and stuff that you can't resell. That they're not NFTs, they're not on the blockchain. And I get it. Well, kids, it was an NFT. Like, they just care that if they have it or not. But I would not underestimate kids as well. At the very least, they could tell whether a comment is, like, good or malicious. And I think they're smarter than a lot of people give them credit for. And especially teens, especially a lot of teens that, kind of get why are a lot of teens like, you have that teen angst and have that, the teenage moody years. It's because the world that their parents had told them the world was like for so many years, they begin to realize, that Disney sickness, like, oh, if I be a nice guy just a nice guy, I'm gonna get the girl, and then you realize slowly that, oh, that's not true. You have to be a lot more than that. And the world is a much meaner and not fair place that when they thought. So when they go and they realize, oh, I can go and buy this, and this is mine. This ownership is on a blockchain, and nobody can take that away from me. I think that's very, very good as well. I think that's a good way of, and I can't wait. I don't know which artists they're going to be. There's going to, would I love it for Luke Chu to blow up? Absolutely, because I know him. Would I love it for Mumbot when she gets on here to blow up? Sure, I met her before. She's really nice. I would, but there are going to be some people, especially people on the left, politically leaning, that go and say, I want to support this artist because, X, Y, and Z. Because they'll do that, like, oh, corporations always get all the money, but now I can go and support this artist. And although be advised, I don't know how many of these artists, if any, I don't think they get anything of the secondary sales. DC didn't even get anything with secondary sales. I think that's just, so maybe that's a bad example. Anyway, another super chat from Animals Face says, OMI to NFT and crypto and fees burn OMI 24/7. Yeah, so also I did want to clarify that for a minute. When you are spending your crypto to buy gems, super fantastic. It is, I think 2% of that or 2.8% of that, less than 3%. Let's say if you buy $100 worth of gems, well, you have to pay $103. I think 1% goes to like the transaction fee, and the other percent just goes to the extra $2. Where does that go? Well, you get an extra 2 gems that go into the liquidity pool. And then people can spend, that OMI and buy those gems. But here's what I am kind of worried about at first, and hopefully these will be alleviated, is that when you have OMI to gem, because crypto to gem will come first, when you have OMI to gem, I think that there's going to be, and Veve is so gracious for having giving us $1 million worth of those gems, like for free. It's like, hey, take these. I think that $1 million, where you have $1 million worth of gems in that pool right now, if we have OMI to NFT tomorrow, or OMI to gem tomorrow, that OMI to gem, that could be gone in a couple days, because people will take their OMI that they've been waiting to spend for years, and they'll be like, all right, I want to go and buy stuff that has, a proven growth. And obviously OMI has proven growth as well. I'm more into OMI than anything else in the world. But I think that's going to be constant. And thankfully there's so many other things that can refill it. Like when you do have peer-to-peer trades, let's say when you have to buy an NFT straight from OMI. Let's take a look at this right now. You have, let's say if you want to sell a Secret Rare Spider-Man, right? Secret Rare Spider-Man, you have that 8.5% fee, because you have 2.5% go to Veve, 6% go to the licensor, and then you go and say, okay, well, you take out 8.5% off of, let's say, $10,000. Okay, well, you got to pay an extra $850 for that, and then you got to pay an extra 10% for when you actually cash out. So, minus 10% minus that $850, so you're looking at, I'm sorry, minus that $9,150. So you have to pay an extra $910. You're actually only walking away with $8,200, or $8,225. So you go from $10,000 to $8,225. It is much, much cheaper to go and just sell that straight for OMI. And when you go and you sell that straight for OMI, you're saving like 9%, because you're saving on those cash out fees. Because you do have to pay, I think, a 1% fee to use that, and that's just by the seller. So the seller fees, I think all of that does go to the liquidity pool. So that 1%. And then for the buyer fees, I think that also goes to the liquidity pool as well, if I'm not mistaken. But then you have, on top of that, you could have those silver tickets where you say, hey, I have the silver ticket, I don't want to pay any fees for this. And you go and boom. So that's really cool. That incentivizes. I realize I've been answering super chats forever. Let me go on some other stuff that I've been going out here. OMI to NFT and crypto and fees burn OMI 24/7. Yeah. This is not like anything else that I think, like, remember Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, where James Barbosa goes like, "We've not seen a gathering like this in our lifetime." From all of, I mean, stock exchanges, like I would never do stocks again because it's your trading days are only like 21 trading days a year. You can't do weekends, you can't do bank holidays. So I would not be able to do, if I was so involved in trading stocks, I wouldn't be able to trade it all tomorrow because it's election day, and I wouldn't be able to trade it all on Friday because it's Veterans Day. And cannot wait for that. I'm gonna eat so much free food. Y'all don't even know. This is why we join. Not for honor, not for glory, for the free food once a year. I would say that, yeah, I mean, a lot of times you can only trade 21 days a year. In crypto in general, it's pretty much 24/7 as long as you have access to the internet and the exchange has volume. But that's trading. Like this burn, I guarantee you there's going to be a burn tracker. Like people are going to be like, oh, like how they have like the U.S. debt clock, how much debt, people have that in the corner of their office. You're going to have an OMI burn tracker, and that's going to be constant every single day. I I can't wait for that. Anyway, moving on here. If you stake at one point, okay. So Reese says we're actually still in discussions on this. I still need our engineers to tell me which options are available, and I want community feedback. However, my logic right now is that you will, one, maintain the tier you unlocked for the value, which is the number of tokens you use to unlock it. If you do nothing at the end of the season, your stake will roll over and you'll maintain the same tier. That's pretty self-explanatory. 1.5. You can unstake. Ooh, Ernie Malas said they $20 super chat. Like 10 days away. Can't wait. That man is going to go meet David Yu. He's going to bring me along with him and two of his friendos. Oh, one's his friend, one's brother-in-law. And yeah, he bought that Gary Baseman 101. I'm going to meet Gary Baseman. And he's such an amazing friendo for deciding, like, you know what, Chavez, I'm gonna pay your way. And I was like, okay, well, Ernie, you did not need to do that, but he did. He is a hero of mine, a very good friend. So glad to have met him. Shout out to him. Can't wait to go hang with him again. I saw him at New York. It wasn't at New York Comic Con. It was a dinner prior to New York Comic Con. But I did see him last month. Privileged again to see him next month. And I might actually go see him at some point in the future right after that. We'll see. It's, where he's from does get a little cold every now and then. Anyway, you can unstake. So this is 1.5. You can unstake for no penalty during the seasonal grace periods. So those seasonal grace periods are the last 10 days of every quarter or every season. However, you cannot restake for 30 days. So you can technically adjust your stake to the current token price at the end of each season, but you'll also forfeit the seasonal rewards and won't be in the snapshot for the annual reward. Basically, for those of you that missed it, if you hold any staking tier, doesn't matter which tier, for 1 year, you get an annual snapshot where you get a free common NFT airdrop to you. Now, this I do think will be VVIP in general. I don't think it will be like a free Disney thing. I think it'll just be VVIP. And on top of that, you're going to get a free golden ticket. So this is what I mean when I say, I don't care if you have, if you have $2,500 worth of OMI and you're staking it, after that full year, even though that $2,500 will probably be $10,000 at that point, you will get do not unstake, because if you do unstake, you will go and lose out that free golden ticket. Why is that golden ticket important? Because as of right now, you're able to go and redeem that for land. And again, Reese did kind of pedal back on this a little bit about that, and I'll tell you about that when we get to it. But that, if that continues, that could be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Like that could actually be wild in that season 5. Anyway, when tier rates are adjusted at the end of each season, the numbers required to progress will change. Say if the price goes up, you need less tokens to progress. That makes sense. You'll still need to add that amount of tokens you stake to unlock the next tier. So if you have $2,500 worth of OMI and it goes to $4,000 worth of OMI, well, you're really close to the next tier, but you only need to put an extra $1,000 instead of $2,500 like you would have beforehand. So I hope that makes sense. Moving on. The alternative is that every time the token price goes up, everyone auto jumps to the next tier, but that will massively dilute the rewards that go out and make it a bit less effective. And in the same vein, every time it goes down, everyone would drop a tier, which isn't fun at all. So yeah, I just let people go and do what they need to do to get the next tier. I don't. I would rather the rewards get diluted, because if the rewards get diluted, that means people are still locking up their OMI. If the rewards are not diluted and they say, hey, you can take out your OMI, then that dilutes the OMI circulating supply, and I would not want that. But that's just my opinion. Reese says, much sooner than I would, yeah, and Reese said, I would expect all of these features to be live within 12 months. So that's a really big takeaway. Now, again, just because Reese expects these to come out within 12 months doesn't mean that all of them will come out in 12 months. Most of them will come out. And it's a very good chance that all of them will. But every now and then, because this is tech, some things happen, and you have people like Elon Musk, from CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and now Twitter. Or actually, he's chief twit as his thing. He said in 2020 the Cybertruck would be out in 2021. 2022 is no Cybertruck. It will hopefully be out in 2023. That's a $1 trillion company delaying something by 2 years. Delays happen, especially with new technologies, especially with something like this where we have to navigate the waters of regulatory compliance. So if not everything comes out within 12 months, it's going to be okay. We'll get it eventually. Moving on. He says, I agree with this. That's why we haven't listed anywhere new for the past few months. It doesn't, we're talking about exchanges, doesn't have the same use/impact when markets have cooled off like this. Obviously, we're not just aiming for impact. We want to open access to the token in new regions and on more trusted exchanges, but you have to factor it all in. Manny View says, Reese, by the way, who's Adam? And he says, ha ha ha. Adam is one of the earliest of OGs. He used to be in here a lot, but helps out in the OMI chat, in Discord more now. You might know his handle as Puddin' Cheeks. He's the one that has tracked the burn sheet since day one, gets referenced a lot in the community. We love him. Where he says, you can stake at any time once it's live. The important part is more so which tier you're in by the time of the snapshot, as that determines which rewards you'll receive. The game and strategy really relies in how you get to that tier and when. To make it to tier 5 by the first snapshot, you have to fast track. Why would someone want to do that? Arguably because the very first season's collectible staking rewards will be the most scarce, as the number of items minted will depend on how many people are staking in each tier. Oh yeah, I don't know why I took a picture of that twice. He says, unfortunately, well, will there be another round of free conversion of layer 1 OMI to layer 2? Reese says, unfortunately, there's no way to do it now as everything is live and running. However, Bit4x is still accepting deposits of GoChain OMI tokens as long as you're careful and use the GoChain option when selecting the chain. So you can technically send in your GoChain tokens and then withdraw the new ERC20 OMI directly from the exchange if you want to do that. That only costs a little bit of Go to send your OMI from where you have it to the exchange, and then it'll, depending on gas fees, it'll take you some gas fees to go. How much would it take to move, I don't know, like 1 million OMI? Might cost you like a couple thousand OMI. It'll be a very, very small amount in comparison. It won't be that much. I missed it. Wonder if there's S-Men crypto to gem. I think OP is the greatest thing. So reset. It's certainly the plan. There's going to be a lot of stuff for new people to come in the space and the product over the next few years. I'm trying to give them as many ways as possible to get involved and have fun, and more importantly, to just understand what the heck is going on. Reese is talking about timelines. Says, estimate on the timeline, you mean? We're expecting it to be ready around the end of the month. He's talking about crypto pay-in at the end of the month. So if it's not good by then, it'll only be an extra week or two, depending on testing and all that. So if we don't get it by the end of the month, it'll probably be mid-December. My birthday is December 15th. Cannot wait for that. Hopefully it comes at or around or even before my birthday. Somebody says it's lots to digest. Reese says the OMI token has always been classified as and sold as a utility token, and as soon as you buy back your stock or token, you're considered security and therefore governed by securities law. If OMI somehow fell into that camp, it would pretty well invalidate everything we've done up to this point, which we obviously don't want. So instead of using revenue to buy back tokens, the community effectively does the buyback part and we get OMI to Gem back at the same time. I know it's silly that one is good and the other is not, but it's just how they look at it from a classification standpoint. Yeah, it's pretty wild the way they do and define things. What do you think about bigger? What do you think about bigger something? Reese says, yeah, we definitely thought about it. The hard part is incentives. Oh yeah, we're talking about bigger staking tiers, such as 100,000 staking tier, 500,000 or a million. He says we thought about it. The hard part is incentives. If you're asking people to lock up $1 million worth of OMI, you have to be giving them something pretty damn good and worth their while. And it's really difficult to do that without making the whole thing too top heavy, which is fair. I mean, again, I wish there was something like that because you get a lot of OMI topped up. I mean, even if they don't make the rewards that good, don't make the rewards that good. Like, I don't care. Just get the OMI locked up. I'll do it. Whatever it is. Give me a date with Reese. I don't care. I'll lock up that $1 million OMI. $1 million worth of OMI. Oh yeah, that's good. I would totally lock up $1 million worth of OMI just to have. I could text them whenever I want, but yeah, it's just like now it's guaranteed. And then I don't know what I would do. Axe throwing, that'd be pretty fun, Reese. So Reese says we'll have the whole other. Oh yeah, so we're talking about the Veveverse. Veveverse. Here we go. We will have a whole other utility plan for the Veveverse, but let's get this one locked down. And maybe a day or two more sleep before we move forward on those plans. Yeah. I can't. Very excited. He says, yeah, I like that idea, but if you look at it from an opportunity cost, is receiving a few physical collectibles in the mail each year worth $500,000 to me? What about $1 million? I'd argue probably not, unless they're actually solid gold. I don't know. Just give them the option. Just to be able to say, give them a badge. What did Deadpool say in Captain America or the Civil War stories, in the comics, when Captain America's side tried to get him to go to Captain America's side because he was on Tony Stark's side. Always hated that. They tried to give Deadpool a bigger badge, and Deadpool's like, "Oh, a bigger badge," because they, Tony Stark's side gave him a small badge. Like, we'll give you a bigger badge. He's like, oh, maybe I'll do that. And it almost convinces him to do it. It doesn't, but it almost does. Give us a badge, Reese. That's all I want. We don't adapt to any. All right, so he says we don't adapt to any particular jurisdiction. We integrate third-party providers who do this as their sole job, and they provide the KYC service. It's up to you, the person doing the KYC, to ensure your details and the addresses are correct and valid. First real life event. Okay, and that was pretty much it. So I know it's a lot to take in. I know I've been talking for 37 minutes, but I will answer all the questions now. I'll do it right now. Sorry. Comment when you think of that while I go and read these. Wes says, I would love for Veve to have an annual OMI burn to keep sentiment high. I mean, that's very possible to do because they are going to... When Reese says that most of the business development fund will not see the light of day. Oh my good golly gosh. That's like 30 billion OMI tokens. That's just whoosh. That's insane. Anyway, Justin says, I save Veve FUD videos to my watch later for 5 years from now. Oh, that's great. Justin, I love you, man. The agency, has it already been burned? No, it'll probably be burned around... Probably when... It'll be after crypto to Gem goes live. I don't know when exactly, but it'll be after that at some point. Bill Gardner says, Randy. Hi, Bill Gardner. Omi Panda says, evening, Randy. Dashi fam. Good evening, Omi Panda. Omar Sajay says, let's go. Get this bread. Omar says, did you saw Reese's message from Telegram today? That's what I was talking about. It was great. Chikao Morega says, hi, Randy. Will you buy more at this price or waiting for lower price? Remember that voice that was talking to Stinky in Hey Arnold that says, if you plant them, they will grow. If I get money, I'll buy OMI. That's pretty much been my sentiment, my custom. If I get money, I buy OMI. Doesn't matter what the price is. I could win lotto. Like let's say somebody goes crazy tonight. Let's say people go crazy and it goes to 0.004 over the next couple days. That won't happen, but in case it does, and I win lotto. Let's say I don't even win the major jackpot. Let's say I only win, $1 million. Okay, well, 500,000 will go to OMI, and I will pay that price at 0.004, knowing full well that if you go up, if you like double your price in a couple days, most likely it's going to go down to 0.003, 0.025, whatever. It'll come back down. It's got to retrace, and then find out where it's supported as, where it's supposed to trade at, because like in 5 years it's going to matter, but in 2 years, oh God, in 3 years, I guess no. It won't. You're going to make so much heckin' money on it. It doesn't matter. If I can't get money for X amount of months and it's 0.005 again, I'll still buy it there because I think that's still a really good deal compared to what's to come. I think that's what you do in a recession, bear market. You accumulate really good things. There's what are some other things I would get if I do win lotto? Well, yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum are good. Do that. Maybe some Immutable X. I'd get more Tesla stock. I would get Shopify. I would get I would get a lot of tech. I would get Illumina. I would get CRISPR. Probably get Square. There's so many other things that I would get. And what other things that have gone down like 50, 70%? Let me go. Let's go over this real quick, because there's a bunch of stuff that's gone down a lot. So I'm going to read you a list of names that are down between 70 and 91.5%. Say that again. These are a list of names that are publicly traded companies that are down between 70 and 91%. Zillow, Zune, Shopify, Lyft, Cloudflare, Block, Twila, Okta, Coinbase, Shopify, DoorDash, Snap, DocuSign, Asana, Affirm, and Peloton. I don't see Lyft doing really well long term because Tesla's ride-sharing network will put them out of business. Uber is probably okay because it has DoorDash and or because it has Uber Eats. It has a bunch of other stuff to it. Cloudflare is all right. Cloudflare versus, I would rather have, was it Net? Or is Cloudflare Net? There's another. There's Cloudflare and then there's something else. I mean, they're both fine. Spotify is okay, but outside of this, yeah, Shopify is good. Coinbase is fine. DocuSign, how many people use DocuSign all the time? How many big major corporations use DocuSign all the time? I know a bunch of them do. I would get Tesla. I would get, again, some things that are not on this are Illumina. Lemonade is really good. Lemonade, I'm talk about this real quick. That is a company that has it uses AI. It uses artificial intelligence to go and process insurance claims. It has the fastest insurance claim that was ever paid out ever. It did it in like 3 seconds. How does it do that? Well, people go in and they fill out everything, and they save money because they don't have people go out to the houses and do insurance claim. It does it with the AI. And pretty much people tell you, what happened. And I was like, well, aren't there a lot of like major disadvantages with that? Wouldn't people take advantage? Yeah, but at the beginning of it, they go and they say, give us your favorite charity. And I think 25% of what's not used. So right off the bat, Lemonade takes, I think, off your insurance policy, 25% or 75, like they take a lot. They take a good amount. That's to their bottom line, that's their profit. Anything that they don't use, anything that they do not use goes to your favorite charity. So you would kind of be robbing your favorite charity if you go and you oh, what is this? This is a house fire that has 8 different starting points. You probably did that. Obviously there are going to be those people, but anyway, that's just one of the other companies that I would pick. If I get a ton of money, because that's really good, really innovative. Lord of the Realm says, if I won the lotto, I'd be sweeping all the floors and do giveaways every day. Yeah, there'll be a lot of giveaways. The giveaways will start when I can do giveaways again as well. And in Marquez's comment, that is so awesome. Thank you for the update. Like button check. Yep, smash it. Smash the like button. Joseph says, your tablet is an OG. Oh, my tablet, I've only had for like a year and a half. The phone's an OG, though. Adam Face says, have you thanked Puddin' Cheeks today? Thank you for the super chat. Yes. Always thank Puddin' Cheeks. Always just giving him that virtual hug. Ted D's, I hope FTX implodes. It takes OMI down 000 digits. Bad Ted. Bad Ted. That'd be great for the burn, and we could accumulate a ton more, but probably not going to happen. Carlos Castro says, can't wait to see you first glimpse of Veveverse at DCon. I can't wait to get people's reactions to it. Yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait to finally see what things we might be able to use in the Veveverse, what things are going to be possible. But I also want to see people's reactions. I want to see people go, super shocked Pikachu face. The metaverse says, if you had 20 million OMI, how much you staking? Not financial advice. I mean, I'm not gonna. If I only had 20 million OMI, I would actually stake all of it because that would prevent me from using any of it. Obviously, I don't need to do that because I have a lot more than that. But that's what I would do because I know that a year after I stake, OMI's going to go, to the moon, and then also I would get the rewards, and it would prevent me from selling. So that's what I would do. But again, I don't know other people's financial situations. I can't speak for anyone else. Adam Austin says, I'd rather buy from Veve. Yeah. So when we're able to get that on the Veve, that's going to be insane. That so much money is going to go to Veve. It's going to be nuts. Some more Adam Austin says, OMI could be seen as just another app currency and be bought to use accessories, tickets, and more by non-coiners. Yeah. People are going to use it. They're not going to care about the NFT. They're not going to care about the crypto. They're going to be like, I just give me the funds to go and wager. Because how are you also going to buy bronze tickets? You can't. I mean, I think you can trade them. I'll be able to give them away. I'll do some giveaways. Excuse me. I'll definitely do a bunch of giveaways. But I'll that's how you buy them. You have to use OMI. Giving it a real good use case. Real good. As Among Us made 86 million off of hats, etc., and you can't resell them. It goes in your inventory, and you can use one, and you can put it away, and you can use another. But yeah, it's wild. An OMI to NFT in crypto and fees, burn OMI 24/7, and that's just the start. Just the start. OMI Panda says, I need the big exchanges for volume, and we'll get it. But I would expect when we do start to see exchanges, maybe in Q2 of next year, that they would be smaller to start. We'll see. Altman says, can't wait for accessories. Can't wait to see my comics on a plinth or my Back to the Future poster with a beautiful frame. Oh, that's another thing. Maybe they could have Veve frames that, if you don't want just the poster, you can get an additional frame, and the frame could be beautiful. That's a good point. It's a good idea. Owen Panda says, yep, I dropped my share on Gold Pass and skins for them. Nice. Ernie Molas, thank you so much for that $20 super chat. It's like, only 10 days away. Can't wait to see you, buddy. Oh, he's a good friend. Can't wait to give him a big old bear hug. Love that, man. Joseph Catalano says, where do you hold your OMI? Layer 2 hardware wallet, Bit4X? I would not put any of my crypto on an exchange. I would. They're in a lot of different trust wallets. Keep them there for now. Owen Panda says, thanks for your service, brother. Aye, sir. I cannot wait. Cannot wait for better. I'm going to get so much food. Y'all don't even know. Also, I forgot. Sleeping hat. Gotta always wear that. Cavell said $10 OMI. He says, do you know when we can cash out in ETH again? So there's two different sources on this. Dan had said on the October update that it'll probably be a couple months. But Reese had said recently, he suggested that crypto pay in and crypto pay out could be around a similar time. So I would, conservatively, I would say a couple months, but they could also happen, both of them next month. It's very, very possible that they go one right after the other. But I don't know. Altman says, delays are so normal in tech, especially these days with supply chain shortages and the like. I know. And this is why I would this is why I sold my Tesla for OMI. Part of the reason is that because, Tesla had to invent a new casting machine. They are inventing new machinery to make their cars. Veve, they don't have to invent any new machinery. There's no physical parts to these. That it's so disruptive. Also, the carbon footprint on these Veve NFTs are so much less than the carbon footprint that you have of making action figures that use carbon. They're carbon-based. And how do you go and you transport them from one machine to a plant, to all the retail stores? You have to put them on trucks, and that's bad for the environment. From an environmental perspective, it's much, much better to buy Veve NFTs than an action figure. I would say also that, I mean, let's real quick. Yeah, supply chain shortages. Like the electricity goes out, suddenly Veve is not halted on production of, and they're not going to make their units because, they're not going to be shut down by, let's say Rona comes back or something like Rona comes back. They don't have a physical plant that has to be shut down. Everyone's got to wear masks. No, people can work from home. People can do whatever the fudge they want. Yeah, they have offices in different places, but these guys can work from home. Blah, 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 blah. Owen Panda says, yeah, listing a new coin on exchanges in a bear market is a bad idea. I've been around for a bit. I know this. Yep. Omi Panda's got this. Tony Tonga says, love all my Omi homies. Oh, love you too. Love you too. Darth Chaos says, hello there. Oh, General Darth Chaos. How you doing? Ooh. Owen Panda says, there has never been a coin so transparent in crypto with updates, etc. Back in the day, we were printing paper wallets, taking guesses. Yeah, no other coin has ever done this. No other coin has ever been associated not only just with Disney, but a top 10 grossing app. This is so in general, what do you usually have? You usually have a company is worth, let's say, 10 times their revenue. If it only's got 1.2 billion, let's say round it down to a billion. 5 times is worth would be 5 billion. So let's say the market cap for OMI should be at 5 billion. Oh my God, that's so nuts. At a 300, so to be a penny, it'd be at 3 billion. Just to catch up to where a fraction of where we probably should be, would probably be 1.5 cents. I think we get well to all-time highs by next year, even though obviously that's not the bull market. That's just, kind of a little bit of recovery, but that's just where we should be. Super chat from Akomi Skywalker saying, Randy, would you sacrifice 1.5 million OMI for Vader, Ultra Rare, and Superman? Listen, those two, Vader, especially Ultra Rare because it's animated, and Superman, they're some of the most iconic characters in all of history. I don't think they're going to do what OMI's going to do. I don't have a Vader Ultra Rare, and I don't have a Superman. I probably should because they're really good pieces and they're historical. And if anyone that buys a Vader Ultra Rare and a Superman right now will make money in the future. You all can quote me on that. You can sell them at some point in 2 years for a profit. Probably in a couple months when crypto pain comes in. But I just think that OMI outperforms. I think that OMI outperforms all of those. Most things on the app, with the exception of maybe a couple things. That's just my kind of thing there. Just my take on it. Not financial advice, obviously. We got a little bit says Tesla is not $1 trillion company, has a market cap of 622 billion, so they're off by 378 billion. Tesla at one point has had over $1 trillion market cap multiple times. So that's kind of where I was going with that there. Owen Panda says, welcome to the bear market. Suck. yeah, bear market, that does happen. Ted D says, David Yu would be a nice addition to the Elon CC Mafia. I have a dream. I mean, I like David the way he is, but obviously, yeah. And be advised, guys, like going to these events, especially right now, I think is so important because yeah, Veve itself is worth a couple $1 billion. David right now on paper is a billionaire. God, go out and say, if you go out and it's only like, it's not like he's going to get poorer. Veve is only going to be more valuable, and David's net worth is only going to go up with OMI and with and with Veve, not including the Veveverse. Not including like Akomi and Orbis, everything else that he has. When you have something like that, eventually it's going to get to the point where he's like a Steve Jobs. Not that he's going to be, an a-hole or anything, but it's going to be where he has to come out, once a quarter and be like, here's what we're working on. Like it's, he's going to get mobbed. This is probably going to be the last year. If he even make, in 2023, the last year, especially if he makes it through that without having to get security, where he doesn't have security, like there's going to be, because he's going to get so insanely popular so quickly. this is probably going to be the last year, in the next 12 months where we can have a conversation with them without, without there being a mob of like thousands and thousands of people. So yeah. I mean, I don't really want him to go to Elon and CZ levels, but and that type of popularity is very insane. But he will definitely get that huge. My friend Nick is home. Doobs says, "Ayo, what's good, Randy? Yo, what up, Doobs? How's it going, fam?" Mentalox, like, Randy, what's up? Oh, what's up, Mentalox? How's it going, fam? So, no, you're just excited about OUP like I am, and really thanks for that mini pep talk in the comments we had the other day. Of course, Mentalox, of course. Gonna go and close my door as to prevent the my voice traveling. And Akomi Skywalker, thank you for the super chat. Saying, Randy would sacrifice 1.5 million OMI or Vader Ultras. I would not, because no. But other people might, and that's their decision. Both of them will go up either way. Lori Brenner says, let's freaking go. What's up, Lori? Oh, so Lori Brenner is going to have on Brock McBlockchain on a space on the 9th, on a Wednesday. I don't know what time, but she can tell you. I'm back from the gym. Oh, very good, very good. I think the lady from the gym wants to kill me because, oh my god, I'm dead. 13 are savages. Good. That's how you know it was a great workout. Yeah, okay. Moving on, Cal. Ooh, almost done. We're good. Altman says, when do you think we'll see the first digital drops with physical counterparts from Veve and Uncle Jeremy? Who's saying we're going to have that with Uncle Jeremy? I don't know. Probably some point next year. Kid Pat says, don't invest in OMI. We aren't in a recession yet. Wait until next year. No. This is, again, also, the definition of a recession up until the current administration had changed the definition and then locked it on Wikipedia has always been if you're in 2 quarters of negative GDP, you're in a recession. Or in a recession. They had changed it to say, like, oh, well, you also have to have unemployment to be X amount of percent, and we don't have that. But the unemployment numbers are always, does not matter who is in office, always skewed. Being like, oh, yeah, the unemployment is only, 4%, 3%, or whatever. But they don't take into consideration what those employment numbers are. Like, if you dig deeper into them, you say, oh, well, how many of these people are employed, but they're employed part-time? And how many people of these are employed, but they're employed in, like, the service industry? Because, let's say, okay, now they're a bartender, or now they're a waiter, because they got laid off at their other job, and they went from making $80,000 a year to $30,000 a year because they, they're employed, but they lost a lot of money. Their lifestyle goes down. It's very, very insane. It also doesn't include the people that have given up looking for work. So those numbers are skewed all the time. We've been in a recession. We'll continue to be in a recession. Will it get worse before it gets better? I don't know. Maybe. It depends. I do think after the election, price of oil is going to go through the roof. I do think after the election, we do have a bunch of different things. Like, people are going to be wilding out. But I'm accumulating where I can because, like, again, we were at 0.0012 for a while. That's pretty much bottom. And now with a lot of hype going in, again, OMI is hilariously undervalued. So I'm going to keep buying now. If you would like to wait until next year where I think we're going to do a 3 and a 4 and a 6x, you can, but that's just for me. Mindalock says, hey, Lori, what's up? How are you? We love Lori. Call Me Skywalker says, it's so late, kid. You can't stop me. Can't stop me and Call Me Skywalker. We're going. Kid Pat says, you don't know macroeconomics? I'm actually pretty good at that. Says, jobs are the last to go. I mean, will there be more layoffs? Sure. I mean, that does tend to happen. Things can get worse before it gets better. I mean, again, Putin can throw a curveball. China can throw a curveball. And this whole thing can get a ton worse. I mean, you have that risk with everything. You have that risk of World War III. You have that risk of alien invasion. You have that risk of a giant meteor coming down. And either, the world explodes and none of this matters, or it doesn't, and we're going to go back to eventually another bull market, and then in which case all of this does matter. So I'd rather accumulate now. It says, then it takes 6 to 12 months for houses to go into foreclosure. That could happen as well. We're not sure. Although housing market's been going up for a very long time. Yeah, there's a decent chance that should at least come back down. Even if it doesn't crash, at least come back down. That is a good point. Mintalog says, Randy, speaking of Brock, did you see that tweet he made about him and FV Bricks? I think he was trolling, but we'll never know. I don't think so. But Brock tends to troll a lot, so I would... No selfie zone. What? But Brock does tend to troll a lot, so anything he says I would take with a grain of salt, but always good to look into. I have his notifications on. Michael says, Randy, do you have any insights on Comey's team and how they're trying their best to make OMI a non-security? They are very compliant. Like why was this delayed by a year and a half? Because they needed to be compliant. They are compliant. This is a compliant way. That's really all I can say about it. Remember that Reese and Co. Do you have large OMI whales? But Library just lost their SEC case. That's true, but the SEC did that pretty much just because they knew they could win. And also, you can make two different cases with that. Yes, Comey did an ICO, but the ICO was on Go chain. That was Go OMI. We are ERC20 now. And then again, that was a long time ago, and they can say, yes, we did that back in the day when kind of everyone was doing that, but now we have been very compliant ever since. So if the SEC is not looking for cases that is going to be drawn out like it is like with XRP, which XRP is probably going to win. They would be looking for an open and shut case like Library. They would be looking for a case that would just be able to give them a little more power. Gary Gensler, I hate that mother flapper so much. Some people are just money power hungry, and they just want that just to get more funding, just get more power. But he won't be here forever. Like I said, do you think it's a problem that the founders have a large OMI escrow as part of being in Veve LLC and not stand to profit from the investment of others despite OMI utility in the app? Nah. I mean, that's like saying, okay, well, does Elon Musk have a thing because he's got a bunch of Tesla stock? No, I mean, people decide to go and buy it, and people are the ones that really decide. Like I said, I think Comey's a pretty decent job in the last 12 to 18 months avoiding potential OMI security status, but I'm curious about your take on their wallet sizes. Done. I would much rather them have it than bad actors. I would much rather David and Dan and the business development fund have the most, and Dr. Profit and people that have giant bags, like maybe people that bought in 2019 or earlier. I would rather that happen, because if that's the case, then if that's the case, then that's then it is top heavy in the best way. David and Dan don't need to touch their OMI, and the business development fund, Reese just said, most of which probably won't see the light of day. So I'm pretty excited about it. OMI Panda says, we're in a bear market, but you got to think of all the people, old money collectors, who don't even know what Bitcoin is, let alone Veve. That is another good point. Hang on one second. Oh, God. Water's so good. Yeah, you do have a lot of old heads going in, and I think in the next 20 years, millennials are set to get $1 trillion worth of money. Now, obviously, that really only applies to people with rich grandparents. That is not me. I don't have any grandparents, and any familiar thing that I have would not leave me any large amounts of cash that would equate to anything near somewhere I can make a move. But millennials in general are set to inherit that $1 trillion. What do millennials do? Where are they going to put it? Are they going to put it in stocks and bonds? Yeah, some of them might do some stocks. Bonds, probably not. Millennials are going to crypto. It's that is painfully obvious to me. Yeah, some people will go and don't know anything about investing, so they'll put it in the VOO or the SPY. It takes a lot of dumb money out, but a lot you have some people, especially men, that are going to go and they're going to be that. You're going to think they're going to invest really well, and we'll get some of their money by accident. But some people are just going to be they want to get that quick flip. I don't know what it is with the majority of people, not just men and women, where they go and what is the fastest and quickest way to do this? Anything, and that could be anything. That could be, better intelligence. That could be getting in shape. That could be making money. Anything worthwhile is not going to be easy, and there's going to be pain, and it's going to suck. And Why doesn't the most of the world have abs? Why don't they have huge ab muscles or big arms? It's because it takes a lot of work and dedication and pain to do that. If it was easy, everyone would have it. If it was easy to make a lot of money and be rich, everyone would make a lot of money and be rich. It takes a lot of sacrifice to do that. So, but when you have a lot of people thinking that they're smarter than they are, or just because they have let's say the average IQ is 100-ish. Let's say they have 120 IQ, and they are smarter than the average person, and they're, let's say, a medical professional, or they're a scholar of some sort, and they think that's going to translate over into finance. And sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And they're going to think that they know more than they do, and know more than your average person that's been in this field for finance, you've been for decades, or crypto in for half a decade, whatever. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to get into a lot of crap coins, a lot of meme coins that go nowhere. There's going to be a lot of people that go into, oh, I heard about this stock. Yeah, we hear about, here at a barbecue, and, it's like, oh, let me get into this. And, it goes nowhere. But now more than ever, you have a lot of, 10 years ago, you didn't really have a lot of people really talking about finance on YouTube. Maybe like Peter Schiff talking about gold and silver. But that's it. You're talking about Euro Pacific Capital. Now you have so many people, and there's so much good information out there. And this is what I love about Twitter. This is what I love about Elon Musk. I would much rather have a Twitter where you have 1,000 different articles on 1,000 different things, and a lot of it would be crap. A lot of it would be stuff, and then you have the people go and say, well, okay, this is crap, this is good, this is actually really good, this is solid information, and this is bad. Because the way it used to be on Twitter was saying, okay, here's my, Twitter was really dominated by the left, and you say, here's a lot of my opinions, and anyone that goes against my opinions, we should just silence. Like they wouldn't even give the people the opportunity to speak, even if, half of what they say is correct and half of which is wrong. With Elon Musk taking over Twitter, and you have everyone, especially them being able to have content creators like myself, go on and get paid for certain content. The content creators most likely it'd probably be people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, maybe not the 13,000 that I have. But you have a lot more eyes on the content, and then people, even if they're not crazy smart, but if they're smart enough to know the difference between this person probably knows what they're talking about and this person, probably doesn't. How do you combat bad ideas? Okay, with good ideas. How do you comment? That's how you combat that. So the more, again, cream rises to the top. Why does Taps Trades have more subscribers than any of us? Because he's better. He just has that, just get that vast knowledge. That's the field that he works in. My field in finance is vastly different than his field, and also very good looking guy. He's very, very nice to look at, and he presents the knowledge in a much better way. So again, because cream rises to the top, you're going to have a lot of people that are putting out great information, and people are going to follow them. So by default, a lot of people will get into OMI because they're going to see a lot of YouTubers talk about it. I use Taps as an example, but then you have Hello K, you have Kyle Willson, you have everyone. You have everyone that's got several thousand subscribers that deserves it. Whew. Where was I? How much OMI will you wager for Secret Rare Charizard? Well, I'll wager all of my bronze tickets, and I'll wager my gold tickets. I'll wait. Well, because you only need one, so I'll wager one gold ticket. And then all my bronze. Yeah, I'll wager the gold ticket, that I get each quarter. I'll save it for the last couple things. Yeah, I'll do that. But then you're also going to be able to wager MCP points as well. So that'll be dope. X Blue Storm 92 says it would just be a waste of time and resources to list on small exchanges at this point. OMI's been out for years. New cryptos that just come out like ApeCoin go on all exchanges right away. That's true. But the strategy is to get a little bit of bump from every exchange. Yeah. Greg Fogarty says, agreed, prepare now. Timing the markets is impossible, but dollar cost average will do wonders. I'm excited for OMI and NFT and reverse. VVverse, I think you meant. I'm the opposite of you. More NFTs versus OMI. I want to sell some NFTs to OMI, and you'll be able to. You will be able to do that. Super, super excited about that. Especially the fees. Fee's going to burn that OMI. Burn that OMI, girl. Matt Smith says, hey, I'm pretty new to Veve, and I have around $7,000 vault value, and I'm looking into OMI. Should I sell some and cash out and put that money into OMI now while it's low, or just slowly invest into OMI? That's really hard. Because depending on what you buy, you're going to have a minimum of 2.5% fee to sell, and then another 10% fee to cash out. If it's any of the James Bond stuff, if it's any of the Disney or Marvel stuff, or the Black and White season 6 and above, you're going to have an 8.5% fee to sell, and then a 10% fee to cash out. So even though the vault value is at 7K, expect to, floor everything. Expect to get 6K. And then, expect 5,400. Expect a little over $5,000 out of that. And you can get a couple million OMI for that, which is nothing to laugh at. That is nothing to sneeze at. But be advised, you are losing a decent amount of money by going and selling and then transferring and then buying everything, Also, I do think with crypto paying next month, everyone's vault values are going to go up. At least that's what I think. But then you have, the Veveverse demo next month, and if that slaps, if that is really gas, then okay, well then then OMI goes up too. It's hard to say. I don't know what the right answer is. I was in a similar position where I sold a bunch of things. I had 6,000 gems, and I could have cashed out. And I could have bought more OMI at 0.0013, and I didn't. I bought 2 more Veve logos, and I'm not sad that I did that. I think those are very, very lucrative long term, even short term. But I was coin flip. Depends on what you have too. Obviously, I think something like Superman will outperform a Cryptkin, any Cryptkin. You can pick a Cryptkin. I think something like Secret Rare Spider, or even like a rare Spider-Man, will outperform most of the Mermicornos or all of the Unicornos. Dare I say. So I don't know what you have. I don't know but I think OMI will outperform everything. But that's just my opinion. And again, I was in your position where I had 6,000 gems, and I didn't cash out for OMI. Probably should have, but I didn't. I'm happy with the decision I made. Omi Panda says X Blue Storm, but Ape is a pencil drawing, and Veve is dealing with actual companies and licensing. Another very good point. Oh no, we got the bots. I don't want to. New dating online. Nope. Report you unwanted commercial spam. Get that shiz out of here. Oh, all right. I'm gonna remove you though. Okay, there we go. Blue Storm says, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Veve is way bigger now. Why would they waste time selling on a nothing burger exchange? Wouldn't help anything. I think everything does help a little bit. Also, everyone could smash that like button. That'd be great. I've not been watching myself this whole time. Remember in Paper Mario when Peach was stirring like the stuff? She la la la. Okay. Yeah, smash that like button. Smash it. Free way to help support the channel. Moving on. Blue Storm says, at Omi Panda, would all those companies and licensors be happy about Omi listing on shady exchanges? I mean, what's to say one's shady and one isn't? I mean, some people consider Binance shady, and that's the biggest one in the world. Like that. I think that's pretty subjective. And that's why I don't think they would really do more of them. I mean, I think we'll be on all the exchanges in the future. But Omi Panda agrees. Interesting. Boot777 says, Randy, with crypto wallets that are not connected to exchanges, come with withdrawal gas fees. Yeah. I mean, everything would have a gas fee. I mean, even even GoChain OMI has Go token that it needs for gas fees. ERC20 OMI has, yeah. So it is. This amount of ETH to pay for movement of your hundreds of millions of OMI. Yeah, that's. I don't think it'll be a ton. I mean, gas fees are pretty low right now. When the markets take off, gas fees are going to be high. But it says, I know it seems like pocket watching, but just wondering to try and seek some understanding from an OMI whale since I'm buying a lot of OMI. I mean, yeah, but I would rather pay the gas fees and keep it on a trust wallet, having it safe as opposed to an exchange. Who's on this Randy? I've been trying to get in a Comey secure wallet since I found out about probably in 2021. How about why they stopped selling besides supply shortages? Reese mentioned that in Spaces the other day. I think it's really hard. I don't know if they're ever going to come back, just because it's hard to keep up with other wallets like NanoX and Ledgers when the people that make those particular hard wallets, that's what they do all day, 24/7. And that's just one of the things that a Comey would do, and probably not going to come back. I would think. It seems like a missed opportunity. I know they're great. I wanted one, but I just don't think that's going to happen, because again, you have so many other wallets out there that are really dope that work well, and why would a Comey, it's just waste a lot of time and resources on that when they really don't need to. Yeah. Anyway, guys, oh, my back hurts. My hip. Oh, my other hip. Okay, that's it for me. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Oh, my neck, my back. No, I'm not going to finish the rest of that song. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Thank you for the super chats. I love you all. It means a ton. Goodbye, guys. Meow, 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 meow. See you all tomorrow. Meow, meow.